Minecraft, a game that is so beloved by its community, it's still getting updates almost 13 years later. Sure, there have been some infamous moments in the game's lifetime, but overall, it is genuinely impressive how long this game has stayed relevant. Take, for example, the mob vote held a few weeks or months ago, depending on when you are watching this video, where it held the attention of Twitter and other social media platforms for a good few days. Speaking of the mob vote, at Minecraft Live, it was revealed that the 1.19 update would be called the Wild Update, which would bring the deep, dark, and updated swamps, as we all know by now. But what will the 1.20 update be? Or 1.21? In this video, I'll be talking about not only these updates, but Minecraft's future as a whole. First of all, let's discuss 1.20. I believe 1.20 will not add much to the game because, if you look back, 1.17 was the big update of this year. It added copper, glow squids, geodes, goats, and more. Plus, the developers were working on cave biomes, improved terrain generation, and increasing the height limit, all of which would be pushed back to 1.18. Thus, 1.18 was the smaller update since the features in the update were already being developed in 1.17, and basically the only new thing that we got was a new music disc. 1.19, just from the trailer, looks like the larger update of 2022, thus why I believe 1.20 to be a small update. Now, what would this update actually be about? I believe this update will be called the Wild Update Part 2, and will update structures such as dungeons, desert temples, jungle temples, and other old structures, as well as maybe adding in a new mob that can be found in these updated structures. It makes sense. Updating these structures will give player more reason to search for them, thus fulfilling both the exploration and dangerous parts of the Wild Update. This brings us to 2023. The big update of the year will be called the End Update, which, as the title suggests, would improve the Ender Dragon boss and add end biomes and structures. However, I believe there will only be 2 new biomes and 1 to 2 new structures, as it is endgame content. Adding a lot of content after the boss would deter the value of the overworld in the Nether. However, having some new content would give the player more motivation to go to the end and defeat the dragon. Maybe the dragon egg will be given a use too, who knows. 1.22, the small updated 2023, would be called the Magic Update, and would update enchantments and potions. This will be needed to deal with the improved Ender Dragon boss fight, and will give more purpose to potions, as not many people bother brewing in their worlds. 2024 will focus on finaling the overworld. I cannot come up with a good title for any of these next updates, but maybe you can. 1.23 would update the taiga, jungle, beach, savanna, and others I'm forgetting, while 1.24 might add new overworld biomes for you to explore. All of this would lead up to 2025, where I believe the developers at Minecraft will add a new potential dimension. Think about it. At this point, the overworld, nether, and end will be updated, and the developers will have practically nothing else to update. So the solution is to add a new dimension. I have no idea what the dimension would be called, look like, have in it, whether or not there could be a new boss, but this hypothetical dimension update would break the game. It would get the game as much attention as it did in years like 2013 or 2019. Here's some other things I could see the return of. First of all, Notch, the creator of Minecraft, will eventually return to his game to be a co-developer or some other role. Now, this might not happen next year, but it will probably happen before the Dimension update. However, I'm not 100% sure of this theory. With the return of Notch, we can see the return of some old ideas of his that never made it around past the drawing board, including things like a red dragon boss, quicksand, trolls, red moons, etc., although I highly doubt most of them would see the light of day in Minecraft. Another returning thing we could see are Secret Fridays. Basically, every Friday for a period of 10 weeks from Inf Dev to Alpha, Notch created many new blocks, items, and concepts, many of which have shaped the game to what it is today. The major one I'm thinking of is Redstone. We already get weekly updates in the form of snapshots, but what if the devs add one new block we've never seen before into the game per week? It doesn't even have to be related to the update the team is working on. Another prediction that seems somewhat likely is that there won't be just mob votes in the future. What I mean by this is that we can have a vote for a new boss for 1.25, or the Dimension update, or a biome vote for 1.24. There could be possibly simultaneous votes going at the same time, too. The last thing I see happening is Minecraft merging into one singular edition. It would take a lot of time. In fact, I don't see this happening for years. but eventually, sometime in the late 2020s, you won't be limited to 2 versions. Granted, some platforms will have to be removed to make this possible, including all of mobile and PS4/Xbox One. This is actually the feature I feel like this is the most certain, since the devs tried their hardest to make both Java and Bedrock cross-pairable in these snapshots, which basically means they're trying to get both editions as similar to each other as possible. However, this will require building Minecraft from the bottom up, with a new language that is compatible with as many platforms as possible. That's why it will take years to achieve Minecraft equilibrium. Some final thoughts before I end the video. Minecraft is a game meant to change. The game adapts with change. Minecraft from 2012 is not entirely the same game for 2021. No matter what the future holds, whether these changes will happen or not, whether the game will still be liked or not in the future, one thing is for certain: we're in for a wild ride. One of the greatest things about being a small YouTuber is that you could take as many days as you would like off and try new things with your channel without receiving backlash from your community for straying from the norm. However, I will make changes to my videos for you. Please let me know if you have any suggestions for my channel in the comments, and like and subscribe only if you really want to. See you guys later.